God doesn't want people to be successful without him or without his involvement. Jesus, remember, said in John 15:5, he said, now, for without me, he said, you can do nothing. You can't do anything without me. So Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, which was the father of successful thinking, positive thinking, all of those things that people would say, he was a minister in the eastern part of the country, and yet had seen all of his people be failures in everything, depressed, trodden down, an individual that had low self-esteem. And he was a minister in a Christian church. And he said these words. He defined success and positive thinking in this way. He said, after decades of experience, he said, I'm more confident than ever that the Bible principles, these Bible principles, can help anyone, anywhere, live more effectively. That was Norman Vincent Peale. He was a minister, folks. He was not just this man who came up with the positive thinking message. That wasn't true. Here are some quotes on success that I think that you'll find interesting. Now, remember that during the Second World War, there was absolutely no way that the Allied forces were going to be able to destroy the Axis forces. They were coming at them from two different directions. You had Germany that actually was just marching through Europe and had a problem in London with those people because those people just wouldn't give up. But the Nazis just went and just destroyed everything, but they couldn't destroy London. You had the Japanese that were coming from the other direction. And when they were coming from the other direction, it became really difficult for the Allied forces to actually hold things together. But Winston Churchill, who was probably one of the greatest leaders that the world has ever seen, said these words. He said, success is not final, and failure is not fatal. He said, it is the courage to continue that counts. He said, success isn't final, but failure isn't fatal. He said, it's the courage to continue that counts. I like something else that he said that I think you'll like too. He said, success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. It's going from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to win. And when they did. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of the United States, he said these words. He said, I'm a success today because I had a friend who believed in me and I didn't want to let him down. Isn't that something? He said, I'm a success today because I had a friend who believed in me, who believed I was a success, and I didn't want to let my friend down. Here's something that I actually thought about success. That the way to success is to stop talking about it, but start doing it. Don't just talk about the things that you want to do. Don't just talk about what the things that you think that you really believe, but actually begin to do something, because it's in the doing that the success will show up. Remember that God gave Joseph success in everything that he did. In the book of Genesis, chapter 39, verse number 2, and said, and the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. Everything that Joseph touched began to prosper. Isn't that really something? Now, here are some things that you need to have in your life in order to be successful. Now, Denzel Washington is probably the greatest herald of this very next thing that I'm about to say when he said this. He said, if you want to be successful, he said, put God first. Put God first. because God promises that when you put him first, you'll never be last. Isn't that true?